it's Katie, and this is Paraclete.
Okay, so today we're going to talk about nouns, verbs, and adjectives. So, first, what a noun is. A noun is a word that is a person, place, thing, or idea. Examples of nouns are shoes, pizzas, paraclete, Karen, cereal, and bagels. Sorry, I was really hungry today. Next is a verb. A verb is a word that is used to describe an action. Some examples of verbs are to run, to learn, to eat, to sleep, to jump, and see that they're all action verbs, so it's something that people could be doing. So originally the first type of verb we talked about is an action verb, but there's also another kind called a linking verb. And a linking verb is a type of verb that joins the subject of a sentence to a word or phrase that tells something about the subject, or the main word of the sentence. So there are two types of linking verbs, and the first is a state of being. So an example would be become, seem, remain, appear. The second type of linking verb is when it's talking about the senses. So when someone looks, hears, feels, tastes, and smells. So for examples of linking verbs, the first sentence is the student is happy. And in this sentence, the noun is the student and the linking verb is because when it's saying the student is happy, is describing how the student is feeling, which is happy. The next linking verb example would be Beth feels bad, and feels is the linking verb because it's describing the state of being that Beth is in. The last example for linking verbs is Sam was excited about his birthday party, and the linking verb is was, and it's pretty much the same as is, just in the past tense. So it's describing Sam's state of being. Lastly, we have adjectives, and an adjective is a word that describes a noun. An example of an adjective is the wise grandmother. Wise is the adjective because it's describing a characteristic of the grandmother. The next example of an adjective is the blue fish, and blue is the adjective because it's describing a characteristic of the fish. The last example is the round basketball, and round is the adjective because it's describing a characteristic of the basketball. So for our first example sentence, it's going to be the happy dog jumps high. And so first, to identify the noun, we're going to look for a person, place, thing, or idea. And so dog would be a thing, right? It's an animal. And next, we're going to look for the verb. And we're either going to be looking for an action verb or a linking verb. And in this case, it's an action verb, jumps. And lastly, we're going to try and find an adjective, which is a word that is describing a characteristic of the noun. And so since we already found the noun, which is dog, we're trying to find something that describes the dog, which is happy. So that's going to be our adjective. Our next example sentence is going to be, the student is very smart. So for this sentence, we're going to try and find the noun again, which is a person, place, thing, or idea. And in this case, it's going to be the student. And then we're going to try and find the verb. And in this case, it's going to be a linking verb, is. And so it's a linking verb because it's describing a state of being that the student is in. And the adjective is going to be very. So this next example sentence is a little more tricky because there's multiple nouns and adjectives. So the bright pink umbrella protects the girl from the rain. And so for this sentence, there's actually going to be three nouns: umbrella, girl, and rain, because they're either a person, place, thing, or idea. In this case, they're things. And next, we're going to try and find the verb, and it's going to be an action verb in this case. And the action verb is protects, because the umbrella protects. That's the action that it's doing. And then lastly, the adjectives are going to be bright and pink because they're describing the umbrella. Our last example sentence is going to be, the pepperoni pizza smells great. And so we're going to find the noun first, which is a person, place, thing, or idea. And in this case, it's the pizza. Then next, we're going to find the verb. And in this case, it's going to be a linking verb, smells. And then our last thing that we're going to find is an adjective, and it's going to be something that describes the noun, which is pepperoni, because pepperoni is describing what kind of pizza it is. All right, that's all I have today. Thanks for watching.